that we need to continue to stand strong to defend everybody's rights and freedoms.
Sorry, I'm going uphill, so I'm huffing and puffing because I'm a fat man walking uphill in deep snow. Hey guys, how you doing today? It's been a long time since I've seen a picture like this. Woo! Well, it's been a while since you guys seen me do a video. I'll walk and talk. Well, I'll be honest with you. I've done a few walk and talks. Matter of fact, I do believe this is like my 4th or 5th time making this video. So I'm going to try and get it right this time, because I just didn't like the way I was saying it in the last couple times. Maybe I'll throw some clips in of all the other times that I've been doing it, or maybe just a few of the other times. I don't know. But either way, we'll see how things go with this. So this video is to all of Canada. So let me tell you a story. A story of a great nation. A powerful nation. A great nation. A nation ruled by elites and aristocrats, if you would rather. Whew. This is difficult. Wonderful nation. A world-renowned influence nation. In the eyes of the world. An influential nation in world events and shaping the world we know and love today. Until it wasn't. But this nation's elites and its policies harmed the citizenry of that nation. This nation drove its economy into the ground. It actually destroyed its economy. All the while, the people suffered. This country, the aristocrats and the elites of this country, they chose to ignore the plight of the average people who paid the taxes. They ignored the cries of hunger, disease, and homelessness. All the while, the economy was crashing all around them. They continued to take out loans and drove their inflation through the roof. Millions of people died of starvation, homelessness, disease. You know, it was such a great nation but the elites just couldn't get it through their heads that they were overspending, under-delivering, and all the while the people kept suffering, complaining on deaf ears. A nation bankrupted itself, supporting foreign wars. A nation that taxed its people to bankruptcy. The standard of living in this nation dropped dramatically due to the inflation caused by the deficit spending of the leadership of this government, this country. All the while, the leadership and the elites of that country all maintained their regular lifestyle. Meanwhile, people were starving, dying of disease, hunger. And the homelessness skyrocketed due to impossible rents. A nation that made it impossible for farmers to grow the food the nation needed. A nation that starved its population. And when their economy became to the point that they had to pay almost 50% in interest annually, what did they do? They added more taxes to the economy of the country on the poorest people, so that they could maintain their level of comfort. So the poorest people paid the price, not just in money, not just monetarily, but in their life, by starving. And the reason they killed this economy was so that they could fund a foreign war. A war they had no stake in. But their rivals had stakes in it. So they had to stand up and say, oh no, we're going to stand against you. So they borrowed money, loaned it to this foreign nation to fund their war effort. And then taxed their own people into starvation and homelessness. And a nation that fell due to its government and the elites that continue to live their opulent lifestyle while the people suffered. Sounds like I'm talking about Canada, doesn't it? Yeah. Unfortunately, all this was the prelude to the Revolutionary War in 1780, the French Revolution. Please don't bring this to Canada. That's the funny thing about history. It's doomed to repeat itself if you don't remember what has gone before. You look at the homelessness here in Canada. You look at the starvation lineups at the food banks. But it's not. I know you're a drama teacher, but maybe you should have paid attention in history. Because you're not paying attention to history, you're repeating history. And frankly, I find it quite offensive that you're willing to repeat history in my great land for your ego. France funded the War of Independence for the US by borrowing money and taxing their people. Much like you do to fund the Ukraine war, you're borrowing money and taxing their people. But you don't change anything for yourself. It's just the people that have to pay the price for all this. And what happened during that revolution is so vitally important, because it should never happen again in any country, least of all Canada. Not my country. Don't bring this shit to my country. But there's no stopping you. Just ignore the people. While you maintain your lifestyle, the people pay the price. And I hear the undertones in the anti-Trudeau sentiment. And we need to protect ourselves against it as well. We need not go down the same path. This is wrong. We can't bring this to Canada. We can't relive history on this great land. it's unacceptable. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of history class would do you some good. Maybe a little bit of history class will remind you it's not the elites that actually run this country. It's the people. It's the everyday John and Jane Doe that get up in the morning, go to work, clean your house, bring in your groceries. Those people that keep the heat on for you when it's cold and bitter. The people that go into crevasses in Iceland to save other people that have fallen through when the earth opened up. It's the snowblower guy, the snow shovelers that are walking around your neighborhood asking you, would you like me to shovel your driveway for you? Those are the people that run this country. You elites, you just sit on your jet, go down to Jamaica and bill the people for these events. Because as much as you say that was a free trip, the 2 jets and repairs was not free. And the fuel for those jets was not free. And the staff were not free. I'll let the ethics department decide whether it was ethical or not. Although you do appoint the ethics commissioner, so gotta take that one with a grain of salt. Unfortunately, this was a necessary result of the French Revolution. Now, the French Revolution brought about great change to that nation, although it probably could use some more these days. But it brought about a change in a violent manner. A manner that should be avoided at all costs, on all sides. Now, I said, it sounds like I'm describing Canada, and that's very relevant because we are going through the steps that France went through prior to the revolution. These are the steps, the prelude to what happened in the French Revolution. We're too busy trying to sit in our own little corners and rah our own bases, instead of looking at Canada as a whole and uniting us as one, as a great nation, influencing the world in respect, democracy, and of people. Diversity of thought is what Canada is known for. Diversity of opinion. As much as I like to call Trudeau out for being anti-diverse, we need to start looking in the mirror on how we're doing things too. I see a lot of YouTubers putting out videos and they bash and bash and bash. And yeah, you know what? I do that too. But I always have a message in my videos. Sometimes it's obscure. Sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it's bold. I want to be bold this time. If you're one of them YouTubers putting out videos, I need you to start thinking about the rest of Canada, not just the people that agree with you. If you're a politician that constantly pushing... Oh, hold on, I got people coming. Here, I'll walk down here so I can continue my conversation here. So, if you're one of them politicians that are constantly trying to drive up your opinion, enforce opinions, your opinion, upon those that disagree with you, instead of trying to look at the prospect from the other side, you just try and force your opinion down their throat. You need to take a second look at yourself. Take a second look at what's happening in Canada. Take a second look at what's happening in the world today. They call it MAGA. They call it right-wing, populist nonsense. All these buzzwords. What is happening is the people are standing up to governments around the world. And people are fed up. People are fed up with you not listening, with you going about doing your own thing and ignoring the people it actually affects. It's time for us all to start to remember why we're fighting. It's for this beautiful land. It's for this beautiful country. It's for all the beautiful people, even the ones that we disagree with, that call this home. It's for Canada. We don't need a nation that falls as far as France did in the 1780s. That went on in the decades that followed, killing millions more, trying to assert themselves, trying to prove themselves. We don't need to become the nation that taxes their people to starvation, creates systems that make it impossible for farmers to grow food, so Canadians can't survive. You're creating the situations that started the French Revolution. So keep it in mind. This is Canada, and we're better than that. Nah, not going away yet. Let's have our coffee. Watch the sun go down together. Welcome to the Fringe. Welcome to the Fringe.